absolutely back. I do believe we are back. And we are going to be doing a mock draft for every team. Gonna talk ball for like probably about an hour and then we're gonna hop off. But yeah, it's gonna be full every 32 teams, obviously, full first round. I'm going to be drafting for every team where I believe they should go. Combined with a little bit of where I believe they could go. Let's bring this up. Let me bring everything back up. I'm trying to make a MLB The Show TikTok, bud. Oh, you can make a TikTok. You can absolutely make a TikTok. Going to. I messed up my face cam here. All right. Ooh. Am I don't even know what that means. I'm running out of storage space and it won't let me uninstall Valorant to clear space. That's not good, ball. That's very bad, ball. Okay. On the clock. Oh, that's kind of crazy. But no, I'm not. And it just simply isn't. That's not good, ball. That's absolutely not good, ball. Okay, but on the clock. By the way, welcome in YouTube because I will be cutting it up and it will be going onto YouTube. We're gonna do a mock draft. I will be picking for every team, deciding where I believe they should go. Players should go. Where I believe they should be leaning towards. I don't know how to help you, pal. Don't know how to help you. But Titans are on the clock. We're going to start this draft. Now, I'm not going to do trades. You could see New York jump up, I'm not going to lie. At this very moment, as of March 11th, late at night, the Titans have the Giants have yet to sign a quarterback. They are linked to a couple. I know they're looking into Aaron Rodgers, but we could see them go elsewhere. But as of right now, I'm not going to do any trades. So Tennessee is going to stick and pick. Now, if I am Tennessee, I'm not going quarterback. I'm not going quarterback. You can't uninstall through Riot either. That's pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb. I'm not gonna lie. But if I'm the Titans, I do not go quarterback here. Travis Hunter, unfortunately, plays. Travis Hunter is a cool player, but Abdul Carter plays a premier position and is probably the best player in the draft. If I'm Tennessee, I'm going Abdul Carter. But it's hard for me to see them passing on Cam Ward with the number 1 pick. In this mock, I am just going to have them take Cam Ward. Number 1 overall. Probably the best quarterback prospect in the draft. And now we have Cleveland at number 2. Now, Abdul falls to you at number 2. I could also see them going quarterback, unless they want to roll with Kenny Pickett, I guess. That'd be diabolical. But you were able to get Myles Garrett to come back. Yesterday, I said that the offseason is an absolute win because you were able to bring back your franchise player, and you get a running mate for Myles Garrett, and we are going to take Abdul Carter number 2. The Giants are on the clock at number 3. Like I was saying before, they're in on quarterbacks. They've been spending quite a bit. They signed Javon Holland today. It's kind of crazy that they didn't just keep Xavier McKinney last year, but picked up Javon Holland, and they are going to pick up their hopeful quarterback of the future, in Shedeur Sanders at number 3. The Patriots are on the clock at 4. Now, the Patriots can go a lot of different ways. Travis Hunter is still here, and they signed Carlton Davis, I believe, is who they brought in to be cornerback 2. So Travis Hunter, in my opinion, is probably the best wide receiver prospect. He's phenomenal as a wide receiver. He wants to play both ways. Depending on what team takes Travis, you might see him play primarily a cornerback, and say in the red zone he comes in. That would be fantastic. Or he could be a full-time wide receiver, and dime packages come out on defense. But the Patriots at 4 get probably top 2 player in the draft in Travis Hunter. Sitting here at 5, the Jags need defensive line bad, but they pretty much need help everywhere. They were able to upgrade their O-line through free agency. We are just going to take Mason Graham. Mason Graham's a fantastic prospect. It going to create havoc from the interior. So we are going to go Mason Graham number 5. The Raiders. The Raiders have made some big pickups since Tom Brady came over. Spytech and Pete Carroll in their first offseason brought in Geno Smith, brought in plenty. Oh, here, let me bring this down so you guys can actually see who's on the clock. They have a lot of holes everywhere. Ashton Jeanty is the best prospect left on the board. I think for the Raiders, you just go BPA. Ashton Jeanty would make some sense. Tet McMillan, you don't have a player to his level. You have Jacoby Myers, but Tet is just a completely different athlete. Big size. He is 6'5", 212, incredible football player. I'm just taking Ashton Jeanty, though. It makes too much sense. Now, will a running back go this high? Hard to say with the impact Saquon made on the Eagles. I'm going Ashton Jeanty at number 6 to the Raiders. On the clock with the Jets. You could go tackle. There's no quarterback of the future in waiting that's worth pick 7. You just brought in Justin Fields. He'll do for the year. Jahdae Barron would be fun. You just lost DJ Reed. But it's not a sexy pick. Last year in the first round, you took Olu. This year, and you have Will Campbell, Armand Membu, both fantastic players in their own right. For the Jets, I would say I would lean more Armand Membu, more of a foreshore tackle in the NFL. But if they feel Will Campbell is the better prospect, I'm gonna go Armand Membu though. Extremely athletic, gonna be a fantastic football player. Pick 8, we have the Panthers. The Panthers need D-line real bad. D-line real bad. They brought in some good football players, but that defense needs a lot of help. Let's come over here and look at who we have. On the defensive interior, you have Kenneth Grant. I don't think you could go Kenneth Grant this early. Good football player. Let's look at edge. We still have James Pierce. Everything that's come out about James Pierce feels like a guy who's going to fall to the Eagles. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Donovan Ezeraku is a fantastic football player. Mike Green. I'm going to go Mike Green or Shamar Stewart is somebody who is going to go early. He is so athletic. So unbelievably athletic. Killed the combine. Shamar Stewart is going to go early. Michael Williams, great edge. Very high floor prospect. Fantastic in both run and pass. I'm going to go with Mike Green to the Panthers at number 8. He has some stuff that came out. Who knows how much that will hurt his stock right after he just elevated at I believe, the Senior Bowl. But the Saints at number 9. Tet McMillan is in a free fall. And we do need weapons. So we have this pick, in my opinion, especially depending on what happens with Chris Olave. Depending on what happens to Chris Olave, hopefully he's able to stay healthy, come back. But I believe Tyler Warren can impact the game more. Tyler Warren is a top 5 player in the class. He's truly incredible. Yeah, I'm going, and the Saints have seen what a strong tight end can do. Jimmy Graham dominated for years there. I'm going Tyler Warren, number 9, to the Saints. The Bears. If the board falls how it does, I mean, Tet McMillan would be insane. But the Bears, I don't think, would go receiver. Obviously went Rome last year, have DJ Moore. Malachi Starks is an interesting one for the Bears. Will Campbell's obviously here. The unfortunate part about Will Campbell is that with you bringing in Jonah Jackson, you bring in Joe Thuney, you bring in Drew Dahlman. Will Campbell you now have to look at Will Campbell and say, okay, you're definitely a tackle. Braxton Jones is a decent enough player. You don't necessarily need to go lineman anymore. It is certainly best player available. And unfortunately, we have Ashton Jeanty going at 6. Tyler Warren would be a really interesting one at 9. Just because you have Cole Kmet doesn't mean you don't just take another playmaker. Malachi Starks is such an interesting one. Um, let me see. Let me see if there's any news about. Because Jaquan Brisker, obviously Kevin Byard is getting up there in age. How old is he exactly? Kevin Byard's 31, and he'll be 32 by the time. But I need to see if anything's come out about Jaquan Brisker. Because at times, over social media, he said he's good to go, but there's not been anything coming out that said that he is good to go. Malachi Starks would be an interesting one because that gives you a playmaker in the back end. Kevin Byard is getting older. Jaquan Brisker is most definitely, like, he didn't play all last season, basically. Got hurt in the Panthers game, I believe, on a hit to Tommy Tremble. Stayed in the game and then went into concussion protocol after the game, and he didn't come back. And there was a lot of stuff about whether it was the coaching staff on why he didn't come back or what, but Malachi Starks would be an interesting one. I'm just going to say that the Bears continue to just go all in, because if Will Campbell stays a tackle, it doesn't work out. Joe Thuney is on the older side. I'm going to go Will Campbell here. Well, I lied. I'm going Malachi Starks. Kevin Byard is getting up there in age. Jaquan Brisker is still a question mark. We hope he can stay healthy. But Malachi Starks is a fantastic football player. Where's Nick Emenwari? Oh wow, he's PFF has him as the 43rd overall prospect. Nick Emenwari is another one that don't be surprised if he goes. But I lied. I'm taking Will Campbell. I changed my mind twice. Obviously, I'm a Bears fan, guys. I got to get that one right. Now the 49ers, they lost multiple offensive linemen. Josh Simmons pre-injury, if you get pre-injury Josh Simmons, this is a steal at 11. Josh Simmons is an incredible football player. Kelvin Banks is another one he's very good. Gray Zabel, more of a guard center. Would be a fantastic pick. I think that the positional value is a little too much here at 11, but Gray Zabel's very good. Josh Connerly could sneak into the first. Tyler Booker, probably the best pure guard. I think he goes in the first as well. Donovan Jackson's a big one to look for. I'm not going to lie. This would be a solid second round pick. Like, say for like the Bears, you go BPA, and then maybe you want to come back to Donovan Jackson with that early second. But I think for the 49ers, we're going to go Josh Simmons here at 11. Now we are up to the Cowboys. Cowboys made a sneaky good move bringing in Javonte Williams. You're obviously hoping he is able to get back to his playmaking ways pre-injury. But in my opinion, Tet has fallen to 12, which is actually insane and doesn't feel real. Because I think Tet could go as high as, I think he could go as high as 4 to the 49ers. Not the 49ers, the Patriots, excuse me. I think he could go that high. But the board has fallen and we have Tet at 12. I think Jerry would run up, throw in the card, and take another playmaker to go along with CeeDee Lamb. We have the Dolphins here at 13. Who did the Dolphins lose? I can't remember. But offensive lineman is a big one. I feel like offensive line is always an issue for them. I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, maybe Gray Zabel. It feels early, but maybe. The interior. There's been stuff coming out like Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan actually feels like a player, like a Dolphin. He's so athletic, but he's so athletic. But there was stuff that came out about him that might drop him out of the first. Kenneth Grant is a very high floor player. So maybe we go Kenneth Grant. You just lost Javon Holland. Nick Amenwari. Let me bring up the safeties. Let's bring up the safeties. I mean, there's only 2 that I believe. Xavier Watts is a fantastic football player, but I don't think he's quite first round talent. Amenwari, I'm going to go with Malachi Starks over Amenwari. We'll go Malachi Starks. If playmaker on the back end. And now we have the Colts at 14. Unfortunately for Colts fans, Tyler Warren was off the board already. I would definitely say cornerback was a need. And it still could be, but you brought in Charvarius Ward. You brought in Cam Bynum to help that secondary. But, I mean, Will Johnson is just staring you in the face. Fantastic football player. Jahdae Barron is unreal. He's got like that Brian Branch type. I mean, he could play anywhere. Jahdae is incredible, but if you want to, like best pure cornerback, I would say probably Will Johnson. I would lean Will Johnson over Jahdae, but if you want a playmaker in your secondary, you could go Jahdae over Will Johnson. Maxwell Hairston is fantastic, but I don't think I wouldn't put him quite up at the 14 range. You just lost Odangbo. What's my edge still looking like? James Pierce is just one of those ones. It's so hard. Ezeraku, though. Ezeraku just feels like a Colt. So athletic. So athletic. He feels like a Colt. I'm going to do it. Donovan Ezeraku to the Colts at 14. Falcons. I'm going to stay. You actually just brought in Leonard Floyd. I don't think that takes you out of the edge market. Go Michael Williams or linebacker. Is he? Yeah, or Michael Williams or Jalen Walker. Both of them are fantastic. Jalen is such a good pass rusher, but he says he wants to play linebacker. He wants to play both. I'm going to stay in state, and I'm going to go Michael Williams. Cards. Where do we go with the cards? It says their needs are guards, tackle, defensive line. I actually don't know. Who are their... What's their secondary looking like? I forgot, actually. Let's look. Jalen Thompson and Buda Baker is... And then you have Sean Murphy Bunting, Starling Thomas. For the Cardinals, I'm just gonna go like best player available and just get a playmaker. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go get a playmaker in that secondary, and we're gonna take Jahdae Barron. Buda Baker could be leaving, so Cincinnati. T. Higgins did get tagged. But will they pay him? Or let's look at edge and let's look at defensive interior and see who our options are here. James Pierce is so hard. Like James Pierce is worth it right now. But I don't know how far he falls. And you could be losing Trey Hendrickson. I'm going to go James Pierce. James Pierce to the Bengals at 17. Seahawks, you need a lot of help on the offensive line. A lot of help. Kelvin Banks is here. Gray Zabel. Gray Zabel brings so much flexibility. While I don't think he's a tackle, he will give you that flexibility where in a pinch you could kick him out. I believe he could play the 3 interior positions. I'm going to go Gray Zabel to the Seahawks to protect their new quarterback, just signed Sam Darnold. Next up, we have the Bucks. Let me Buccaneers depth chart. Because that secondary needs a lot of help, I believe. Zion McCollum, you really hit on him. Jamel Dean, you still have. Carlton just left, but I still think you could go. And it feels so horrible to have Will Johnson fall this far. Fantastic corner. Great length, great size for the position. Yeah, 6'2". We are going to go Will Johnson to the Bucks at 19. it's going to be so fire. You're currently cooking. That's just good ball. Denver Broncos. This one's easy. Go over to tight end, Colston Loveland. Sean Payton needs his tight end, and he gets it in the form of Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland could go much higher. I mean, he could go 14 to the Colts. It all depends on where Tyler Warren falls. Colston Loveland could go early, but Sean Payton loves his tight ends, and he's getting a fantastic one in Colston Loveland. The Steelers really need a quarterback. They don't have anybody to throw to. They did just bring in DK Metcalf. They need that middle of the field presence, and I think you get that out of Emeka Egbuka. But their secondary is also not great. But yeah, you're down into your second tier. Shavon Ravel, though. I wonder how high he'll go if that ACL will. I want to say he still's going to. I can't remember if I can't remember if he's going to be able to run at a pro day. Shavon Ravel could go in the first. I mean, he's so good. But for the Steelers, you have George Pickens, DK. They're going to win outside, but they need that middle of the field presence. And I think Emeka Egbuka gives you that. That gives you 3 elite weapons for whoever is throwing the football. San Diego. I feel like this one's really easy too. Omarion Hampton. We know Harbaugh is going to want to run the football. Omarion Hampton is clearly the second best back, and he's just above the tier of your Cam Skattebo, Quinn Shawn, Dylan Sampson. Caleb Johnson's probably the best out of those, but Omarion Hampton, especially Ashton Jeanty, are on a whole nother level. So San Diego picks up their back. We have the Packers at pick 23. Now, they need a legit wide receiver, but will they go that in round 1? Absolutely not. So I'm not even thinking about it because they won't do it. You can always use Shamar Stewart. I can't believe I've let him fall this far. I don't think he'll fall this far. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I don't think Shamar Stewart's going to fall this far. He's such a good football freak. He's a freak. He didn't have the production, but he's an absolute freak. And the Packers get him at pick 23. The Vikings. This team loaded up. I mean, you can go anywhere. I mean, they did lose Cam Bynum, Nick Emmanwori, maybe. What cornerbacks are we looking at? Maxwell Harrison, I could see. Shavon Ravel even. But for this, I am going to go Emmanwori. Replace Cam Bynum. And Josh Metellus gets his running mate. Okay, the Texans, luckily, see Kelvin Banks drop to them at 25. That they need a whole new makeover on the offensive line. But they do luck in, and Kelvin Banks falls 25. The Rams at 26. I could see guard. I know that they saw They saw something they liked, but you could also see Jihad Campbell. I want to get. Let me look at their depth chart too. So they did just add Coleman Shelton back. Steve Avila was not great last year, but you did take him, I believe, in the second round. Kevin Dotson, I believe, is replaceable. If you want to continue to get, you have Cam Kinchins and at safety, Cameron Curl at safety, Keela Witherspoon and Darius Williams. Get a running mate on the defensive line. They need help on the defensive line, just somebody who's going to stop the run. And I think Kenneth Grant can do that. I'm going Kenneth Grant, 26 to the Rams. Baltimore Ravens at pick 27. Think you could go. I would love to see them go wide receiver. They did just bring in D-Hop, though, actually. Let's bring up theirs, too. Can't remember exactly who they brought in. So you have, obviously, Zay Flowers. Rashad Bateman is a player of all time. And then D-Hop. Mark Andrews, I'm not 100% sure is going to be there. But Matty BK, Owe as rush ends. Kyle Van Noy's getting up there in age. So is our Darius Washington, to be fair. I think I want to give him a legit wide receiver, though. And Luther Burden falling this far is insane. He's just incredible. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give Lamar Jackson, Luther Burden to rock with Zay Flowers and D-Hop. Lions. I mean, it just feels like they're going offensive line. They always do. It always works. Because so Taylor Decker, Graham Glasnow, yeah, Kevin Zeitler. Kevin Zeitler is on the market currently. He is not either re-signed back or signed with another team. I'm gonna say that he walks and you go younger, best probably pure guard in the draft class, and go Tyler Booker to play right guard. Washington Commanders. This one's easy. You load up. You load up. Matthew Golden fell to you. Fast. He would just perfectly be that wide receiver too. And I know you just brought in Debo. Debo's not who he was on the 49ers. That last year, Hopefully he can get healthy, become a little bit more dynamic. But we're going to go with Matthew Golden. And the Buffalo Bills. They need defensive interior. They need help. They need help bad there. Let's go Derek Harmon for the Bills. And the Chiefs. Oof. We all watched the Super Bowl. We have Donovan Jackson. I don't think Ursery is a first round guy. And I don't even necessarily think Donovan Jackson is. Josh Connerly is. Great football player. 6'4". Yeah. Josh Connerly. And I know you just brought in the tackle from the 49ers. It doesn't stop you. It does not stop you. There's not a guard left that is worth taking here. Savaiya, fantastic football player. I wouldn't take him at 31. Wyatt Milam, same thing. Tate Ratledge, same thing. These aren't guys I would take right here, though. You can, if you don't feel that they're going to make it to you at, where's their next one? I was kind of hoping to see their selections, but I can't. If you don't think that they're going to make it, you can trade up right here. Best offensive lineman is a tackle. You take him. Josh Connerly to the Chiefs and the Eagles. I mean, you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. I think I'm going to go edge because they always go edge. But if they're defensive interior, Walter Nolan feels like. But I mean, where is Jalen Walker? Jalen Walker's another one who's here. Darius Alexander. This one's tough. But I do believe I'm going to go Walter Nolan. I believe he's the best player here. Jahad Campbell, well, I take that back. Jahad Campbell is the best player here. And I think Jahad Campbell is going to make it in the first round. But with him, he's the best linebacker for sure. But positional value. And I mean, obviously the Eagles don't need him, so he's not going here. But I mean, yeah, I'm going Jalen Walker. Walter Nolan. And here is our first round, full first round mock. With pick 1, we have Cam Ward going to the Titans. Now, if I'm the Titans, like I said, I go Abdul Carter. But you just brought in a tackle. Looks like they're probably looking to protect. I mean, you got to protect whoever plays quarterback, but if they believe Cam Ward can be that guy, then you take him at 1. If you truly don't believe that he is worth the number 1 selection, if you don't think he's going to turn into a top 10 guy, because that's the thing is you need a quarterback. If you don't think that he can turn into that type of quarterback, you don't take him and you go Abdul Carter. Because Abdul Carter is going to be a difference maker at the NFL level. Difference maker. But I have him going number 1. Number 2, I have Abdul Carter falling to the Browns. This is a wonderful situation for the Browns. I don't necessarily think that edge is 100% on the table. You could go quarterback. You could go Shedeur. But I'm going to go with we get Myles Garrett, a running mate, and we go Abdul Carter. Number 3, the Giants get the consolation prize in in Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur is the most accurate quarterback in this class. I don't know if I would say pro ready, but maybe the most pro ready. Takes a lot of sacks, holds onto the ball too long, needs to play with more anticipation, but he is accurate. The physical side of him at 3, it's certainly a reach, but with the quarterback tax, that he's gonna go high. Just like I didn't even mention it. I think Jackson Dart goes first round. I don't know where. I mean, you could see Pittsburgh Steelers. You could see the Rams. I think the Rams would want to build around. The Rams are in win now mode, so I don't necessarily think they would use their first round pick on him, but like I really think Jackson Dart goes. And I mean, I think the 49ers will pay Brock Purdy because it's kind of tough for me. I'm not the biggest on him, but he does win. We'll see how he does. That 49ers team is not the same. They tore it apart. So, but Jackson gets in the first round somewhere. He does. So, but Shedeur here at number 3. Number 4, the Patriots stick, and they get probably first or second best player at number 4. Quarterback tax will do that to you, and they luck in. They don't have to trade up to get one of the top 2 guys at number 4. And this is wonderful. Whether it's Abdul Carter or it's Travis Hunter that falls to you, it doesn't matter. That it will be their pick, and it'll be a fantastic pick for them. Now, if neither of those players fall to them, watch out for Armand Membu here, Will Campbell. I know they signed Morgan Moses. That's a Band-Aid. I don't think it stops you from taking tackle that high. But in this mock, Travis Hunter falls to them. At number 5, the Jaguars go Mason Graham. I mean, Mason Graham's worthy of a top 5 pick. Easily top 5 guy in the class. Maybe even top 3 right behind Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. I would probably put Ashton Jeanty at 3, but he's a top 5 guy. You need defensive interior, and you have Mason Graham. At number 6, we have the Raiders taking Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty is the best player left on the board. He is a true blue chipper. He is a franchise changer even at the running back position. He is incredible. As a Bears fan, I hope he falls to 10. But here he goes number 6 to the Raiders. I think you can go a lot of ways with the Raiders, but they just need good football players. And he's the best football player that's left on the board. So Ashton Jeanty at 6. Number 7, the Jets don't go anything sexy. They bring in Justin Fields, and they need protection. Whether Justin Fields works out in the long term or not is to be seen. But either way, whoever is playing back there, They're going to need their tackles. Their tackles will be set. You'll have Armand Membu and you'll have Olu Fashanu. Fantastic tackle pairing. At number 8, we have the Panthers. I have them going Mike Green. Depending on what happens with all of his off the field stuff, he might fall. You could see a guy who fell all the way to 23 for me in Shamar Stewart up here. I think they would like his versatility. But Mike Green is so polished. He's an unbelievable pass rusher. If you believe if his off the field stuff is good, I believe he could go top 10, and I have him going number 8 to the Panthers. At number 9, I have the Saints going Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is a top 5 guy in this draft. Colston Loveland came into the season as probably tight end 1. Tyler Warren he skyrocketed. He is another one that I believe it is a weapon that could change a franchise. He's a weapon that I believe you could, even in the NFL, obviously at Penn State, he was the focal point, but I believe in the NFL, he can be the focal point. And Tyler Warren is no slouch in the run game either. He'll block his ass off. He's got a high motor. And the Saints get their tight end at 9. Tyler Warren could go higher than this. He really could. I mean, the Jags, personally, I would go Mason Graham. Like I said, I believe Mason Graham is a fantastic football player. But the Jags, maybe they believe in Brenton Strange, but Tyler Warren is on a whole other level than, because they lost Evan Ingram and who's their backup tight end? I can't remember. Let's look at that depth chart. I believe it's just Brenton Strange that is still on that roster. Oh, they brought in Hunter Long. That's right. And Johnny Munt. I forgot that they did that. They did just do that. I still don't think that it necessarily takes you out of taking a tight end. I would go Mason Graham, though. I would go Mason Graham. So, but like I said, he could go higher. He could fall. I mean, I don't think he'll fall past 14, but you never know. He could fall. He plays a position that is not the most valued position in tight end. In number 10, I have the Bears completing their offensive line makeover in Will Campbell. Now, with Will Campbell, you still do have Braxton Jones. If you believe that he can be a full-time tackle, put him at left tackle. And that'll move Braxton Jones into your swing tackle role, in which I believe he would be one of the best in the NFL. Because Braxton Jones is still a good football player. He's still a good football player, but he's not quite replacement level, but he's maybe a little above average. He's definitely now the weak point on that offensive line. And if you think Will Campbell can be a franchise left tackle, then you take him. And you have your offensive line set. Caleb Williams will have the opportunity to sit back there and dissect the defense and have that second-year jump. It's all on Caleb Williams now. You have your line set. Let's go. Number 11, Josh Simmons to the 49ers. It's easy. You lost Aaron Banks. You lost your tackle to the Chiefs. Josh Simmons, he's coming off the injury. If he wasn't coming off the injury, I think he's a top 10 guy. And I mean, he's only going at 11 after, but still, fantastic football player. Get him at 11. Number 12, Tet falls all the way to 12, which is crazy. This is another one that, say Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter go before 4. I could see him going 4. I could see him going 5 to the Jaguars. Number 4 is the Patriots. The Jets even. The Panthers if they want to load up on wide receivers. Like, Tet's a good football player, but in this, he falls all the way to Dallas. CD gets his running mate. At number 13, Malachi Starks to replace Javon Holland. You just lost him. He is now a New York Giant. Malachi Starks is a fantastic safety. Going first round, gonna go high. I think this is the beginning portion of his range. But I think he goes in the first round. Number 14, the Colts get Donovan Ezeraku. He just seems like a Colt. Hella athletic. We know what Chris Ballard likes. Great edge. And Liatu gets his running mate as the Colts just lost Odangbo. Michael Williams stays in state and goes to the Falcons. They still need edge help. They got Leonard Floyd, but that doesn't change much. We all know, if you look at the great teams in the NFL, just look at those Eagles. They build through the trenches. You can never have enough offensive linemen. You can never have enough defensive linemen. Load up. Falcons never do this. I hope they change their ways. Number 16, the Cardinals get a playmaker in that secondary. Jahdae Barron doesn't necessarily have to play corner. Budda Baker is on the market. He has yet to sign elsewhere thus far. I see him coming back, unless he wants to chase rings. But Jahdae Barron, I believe, he could play wherever you need him. Number 17, Bengals. Trey Hendrickson could be on his way out. Who knows? Bengals might have 2 picks in this first round, but as of right now, they don't. And I believe they will get a first round for Trey Hendrickson as long that with the stipulation that the trade comes with a contract extension, which teams will do that. So I believe they'll get a first. Trey Hendrickson has been one of the most incredible defensive linemen in the NFL for these past couple of years. Second in defensive MVP, or defensive player of the year anyways. And so James Pierce, off the field stuff. James Pierce is one of the best edges in this class. He just might fall. Like I said, I just have a feeling James Pierce is falling to the Eagles. I just have a feeling. Number 18, we have Gray Zabel going to the Seahawks. They need offensive linemen. I said it yesterday when I was streaming all day. Stop by the stream. Twitch.tv/the6sports. I said it over there. They needed Will Fries. You brought in Sam Darnold. You lose out on Will Fries. Gray Zabel will give you the opportunity. Like I said, he can play all 5 positions. To me, he's not a tackle, but in a pinch, you need him to kick out there. I think he can do it. Gray Zabel could be a staple on that line for years. Number 19, I have Will Johnson going to the Bucs. You lost Carlton Davis. You still do have Jamel Dean. He's getting up there in age, though. The Bucks, Will Johnson was just one of the best players left on the board. And that secondary could always use the help. So we have Will Johnson going to the Bucks. At 20, Colston Loveland. Sean Payton finds his tight end. It's as easy as that. This just, at 20, if I don't think Tyler Warren makes it to 20. And I don't even necessarily think Colston Loveland could be gone. But if he's here, if one of them are there, Sean Payton will take him. Number 21. I have at number 21, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Emeka Egbuka. You just brought in DK. George Pickens, will he stay? Will he go? That pairing feels weird. I'm not going to lie. So maybe, I mean, you're not getting, obvious. You just traded for DK, so he's staying, so it would be George Pickens. You just gave DK $30 million. Maybe you keep him, maybe you don't. I'm going to go with the assume that you do keep him, but those two, they don't win over the middle. You need somebody to win over the middle, and Emeka Egbuka is that guy. Number 22. Harbaugh runs the ball. Harbaugh runs the football. And Omarion Hampton is well worth this pick. Omarion Hampton's going high. I don't guarantee that he's going to be here at 22. Obviously the Cowboys just brought in Javonte Williams. Could he go there? Could he go to the Bears? Say Ashton Genty's off the board. Could he go to the Bears? Maybe. Ben Johnson's going to want an electric playmaker at that running back position. He just came from Sonic and Knuckles. So I think 10 may be a little rich, but he's I don't know. He feels like a top 15 guy to me, but he's a running back. So he falls here to San Diego. He falls here to Los Angeles. At number 23, Green Bay gets an edge. Shamar Stewart falls to 23. He might fall this far. I think the NFL is going to love him. He could fall this far. Didn't have much production in college, but the way he played in college, he was asked to do different things. It played inside, outside. Killed the combine. He's going. I mean, he could go 8. I could see the Panthers, because the Panthers are going defensive line for sure, I would think. They could fall in love with that athletic ability. He could go 8, but falls 23 on my board. Number 24. That line that the Vikings are building is incredible. On both sides. Brought in Will Fries. Brought in Ryan Kelly. So 2/5 of the Colts line they brought in. And on the defensive line, brought in Jonathan Allen. They brought in who else? But just saw Cam Bynum leave. Nick Emmanwari slides right in. Get younger, get way cheaper. Great pick. Number 25. Laramie Tunsil is no longer a Texan. I'm assuming Laramie Tunsil has no more money on his deal, I want to say. So the Commanders, I mean, within the coming days, I would assume rework. I'm assuming he would want a reworked contract because I don't think he has any more guaranteed money. I'd have to look that up. But at 25, I'm thinking Houston moves up because I don't think Kelvin Banks makes it to 25. But the issue, right, is I keep saying I don't think they're gonna make it. Players are gonna slide. I mean, you're gonna see good players, and especially with this draft class, I've seen DJ talk about it. Daniel Jeremiah. I've heard DJ talk about it. That the difference between like pick 20 and pick 50 in this class isn't that different. Whereas in past years, you'll see a draft class loaded, and so right here, Houston grabs their tackle of the future in Kelvin Banks Jr. I finished my 12-second video in an hour and 2 minutes. That's good ball. That's good ball. This is going to be a long video, too. I'm not going to lie. At number 26, we have Kenneth Grant to the Rams. They need to stop the run. Simple. They need to stop the run. That defensive line can get after the passer. And they're going to develop as run defenders. I do believe in that. Jared Verse, I do believe, can become an above average run defender. I could see Fisk also doing the same, but next to Fisk, you could have Kenneth Grant, a natural run defender. It'd be a great pick for them. It would help them a lot. At number 27, we have the Ravens getting a real playmaker. You brought in D-Hop. I don't think that changes much. That receiver room still needs help. Luther Burden will come in. I mean, this is a great wide receiver. The wide receiver class seems weaker than it has in years past. There's guys. I could see Higgins maybe creeping up. Late first round hype, maybe the Bills, but Luther Burden is still a first round wide receiver. Had a less productive season last year. They also had Cook felt like he dropped off a little bit, but the production was definitely lower. If he was able to come out last year, he would have went a lot higher. But Luther Burden still gets into the first round here at 27. 28, Kevin Zeitler, we're saying he walks. The Lions bring in probably the best pure guard, Tyler Booker. Number 29, Jaden gets another weapon. They need good football players. This Commanders team, while they made it to the NFC Championship game, I still don't think this team is great. I think Jaden Daniels is unbelievable, generational even, to the point where it elevates his team, such as guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, these types of guys that like Josh Allen, let's take last year. That team wasn't great, and they won 14 games. So, Matthew Golden here at 29. First day out song. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. That's kind of whack that you can't. Number 30 got Derek Harmon. But the Bills need interior. Derek Harmon, great player. He slides in with them at 30. That Joey Bosa is now on that defensive line as well. Thought I'd sneak that in. As long as he can stay healthy, he'll be an upgrade over Von Miller. At number 31, Josh Connerly. Just because you brought in the tackle it doesn't stop you from taking another one. Like I said earlier, you're taking the best lineman here. If Josh Connerly is the best lineman on your board, you take Josh Connerly. And lastly, at 32, Walter Nolen falls to the Eagles. You lost Milton Williams. While they're not the same player, Walter Nolen is athletic and would be a great addition in that rotation. They just get guys that fall. And that is my mock draft. I'm going to download this image. I'm going to put it up in the Discord for anybody who would like to see it. But if you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like and a subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. But I'm signing out. We'll see you guys. Okay. That draft class. That was like, once I cut it down, that'll be like, cutting that down is going to be horrible. I do yap way too fucking much. I wish I could finish my fucking TikTok. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough work. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Let's see it. Oh, goodness. I just realized I wasn't supposed to still be up. Bring up Discord. Oh, good. You sent it on Discord? Oh yeah. See it. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's not pulled up. That shit kind of does go crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That shit does kind of go crazy. Like, it's just stupid, but like, it's funny. Yeah, no, it is funny. That's what it's supposed to be. That shit, I guarantee you, would actually pop off. I'm gonna end stream though. If you're still gonna stay up and edit, then if you want to hop in a Discord, because I'm gonna also do the same. But with that being said, if you are over on the YouTube side, yeah, I was saying, like, if you just wanna chill, I'm also in Discord because I'm also gonna edit stuff, I believe. But if you are over on the YouTube side, I would appreciate, if you enjoyed, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. It would mean the world to me. If you are over on the Twitch side, it would mean the world to me if you enjoyed. If you would drop a like follow, and maybe even that Prime sub. It would mean the world. But with that being said, I appreciate everybody showing up. Showing out means the absolute world to me. For now, sign out.